Well, I think from a CFO perspective, there's two aspects. One is how we look at sustainable solutions as part of our investments, primarily. Secondly, as part of our commercial business. And of course, in a way, we would rather that the commercial business is leading on the front of sustainability and the finance or accounting or reporting follows. And for us, it's quite important, being a business that's heavily exposed to the offshore oil and gas industry, which in itself isn't necessarily the most sustainable of industries, but the solutions we build around that they are sustainable. So we do fairly heavy investments at the moment into R&D to build solutions for energy optimization, which has a very big value proposition for our customers, but also in terms of the equipment we make to make sure that equipment in the field is also clean and efficient in terms of its production, in terms of our production facilities, etc. So sustainability is quite a common theme across the business, not just from how we report or track things, but actually how we build our commercial propositions. Well, it's been quite interesting because the oil and gas industry has been going through quite a lot of turmoil. So the price of oil has collapsed as renewables have grown, and there is a glut to a certain extent in the industry. So from a strategic perspective, we're looking at ways of taking, I suppose, our exposure to that side of the industry to a broader sort of exposure to where we see the growth. So that will be around what we see as remote and autonomous, fuel efficiency, preventative maintenance, active management of the assets in the field, and building value propositions around that. But also we have orientated probably 75% of our R&D funds into those types of growth markets and sustainable solutions. So we've been very active strategically. The most important thing is for companies to be brave to make that transition. So if we look at what's happened in automotive, Tesla has come from nowhere to be something that actually people talk about. You have companies like Dyson talking about moving into electric vehicles. So you will have somewhere in the future cities like London being completely emission free. So not just low emission. But the same trend is happening in shipping markets, and we see it already in terms of certain countries saying you cannot come into port on those dirty diesel engines, it needs to be battery powered or something else. So being brave to sort of work with moving with those trends and putting most of our R&D investments in that direction. It also creates challenges for us because we need to move from what is primarily a mechanical business to something that's a bit more akin to software and technology, electrification, AI, and those sorts of areas. So for those who are brave, it is a very interesting future to be had. And like everything, taking the Tesla example, a lot of the big automotive thought it was 10 years out, now it's here.